was standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, baby, playing it through. I was calling out your name, put my eyes on the wall. You were running like a ghost from me. You were running from it all. You got me waiting, I'm on fire. You got me waiting, my desire. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending. I was at work at the hospital and I got a phone call from a woman who knew who I was and she knew about me. And she told me about this little baby who had just been born and he was in the NICU, and she asked me if I would be his mom. Asher was born 9 weeks premature on March 24th, 2015. Being premature came with its own set of issues. He had underdeveloped lungs, he was bagged a few times, he was fed through an NG tube. He ended up developing a bacteria, which they initially thought was a UTI. By the time he turned 3 weeks old, they diagnosed him with necrotizing enterocolitis. They tried multiple antibiotics, he had x-rays every 12 hours. We were just hoping and praying that the bacteria did not perforate his bowel. But it did. On a Tuesday, Dr. Taylor performed emergency surgery in his isolette there in the NICU. His little body couldn't take it for very long, so she had to just leave him open for a couple of days. He was placed on a ventilator, which was turned up to 100%. 2 days later, Dr. Taylor took Asher to the OR and removed the majority of his intestines, leaving him with 25 centimeters out of what should have been between 200 and 250. She also placed a Broviac catheter in his chest so he could be given other nutrition as well as the feeding tube and an ostomy in his abdomen. I stayed with Asher the entire day, the majority of the night, when I finally thought that he was at a place where he seemed okay enough that I could go and get a couple hours of sleep. I went back to my parents' house, never changed my clothes, I never went to sleep. It was almost like I knew what might be coming. And I got a phone call around 2 a.m. saying that I needed to come into the NICU and sit with him because he wasn't going to make it. So I did, and he was maxed out on morphine, and I remember the pain that was just in his little face. His whole body was swollen. And I remember praying that this is not a life. This is not a life. And I asked God to just take him. And it was in that moment that I felt God more than ever in my whole life. I was overcome with peace, and I knew he was going to be okay. And every doctor and nurse that continued to tell me he's minute by minute, he's minute by minute. We can't tell you anything other than he's minute by minute. I just remember thinking, okay, he's minute by minute, but I know God's going to take care of him. I went 21 days before I was able to hold my baby again. He went 21 days before he could be held again. It took a long time to come off of the ventilator, but he did. He spent a total of 10 weeks with 3 different surgeries at Nice-Walker Children's Hospital before he was transferred to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. And there we were able to meet with the GI specialists. They still didn't have much information about what Asher's future held or outcomes for his diagnosis. But I knew he would be okay. In June, Asher had surgery number 4. Dr. Speck took him to the operating room and put him back together. I remember her saying even then that she thought that his intestines had maybe even grown a couple centimeters just in the weeks in between the surgeries, which was an unknown thing. They had said they might grow, they might not. There's not really any way to tell other than through surgery. So after 5 weeks at Vanderbilt, we were able to take our baby home, connected to 3 different pumps that we plan to maintain and help him maintain for the rest of his life. He is outgoing, energetic, so much fun. He loves life, loves hockey. Asher loves hockey. He loves to play hockey. He loves to skate. He loves to read hockey books. He loves to watch hockey. He loves to go to the hockey games. Asher wishes to be a Nashville Predator. It would be a dream come true for him to get to skate with the team, hang out with them, just be one of the guys.
To the Predators game? What's this?
Okay.
What is it? Can you show me? Hold it up.
No.
What do you have?
Oh.
What do you have? Are those our tickets? Are we going to the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good one. Thanks, bud. Can you sign your poster? Yeah. There you go, bud. Oh, I like it. That's all right.
That's all right.
Smudge it. Memory.
We'll wait.
Want me to sign this one? There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys have a good night, okay?
Thank you.
See you, bud.
Okay, bye.
What's up, buddy?
Can we say hi, Asher? you doing? Good.
Contagious smile you'll ever see. That boy will walk into a room and he will be grinning from ear to ear, and it just like melts your heart because you're like, I can honestly see the joy this boy is bringing to this classroom.
I think our favorite thing about Asher is how resilient he is. He's had a very difficult road, but he's overcame everything thrown at him.
He's still laughing and smiling every time we see him.
Exactly. And that happiness is why he's such a great kid. And you heard it here first. One day he's going to be an amazing hockey player.
I would say, think of a time when you have had the most joy or been at your most happiest, and imagine that bottled up into a little boy. And Asher just has this infectious, joyous quality about him, and you can't help but be happy and laughing and just feeling wonderful when you're around him.
The first word I think of when I think about Asher is joy. No matter what he's doing, he's always got a big smile on his face. I often catch myself forgetting all that Asher has overcome and is still overcoming because he's always so wild and crazy when he and Landon are together.
Asher, we love you. We're thankful for you. We just hope that you keep smiling and bringing us all so much joy, and we can't wait to see what all you accomplish.
Do you love Asher? Yay!
Happiest little boy that I've ever met, the most resilient little boy that I've ever met, and definitely the biggest lover of hockey that I've ever met. I consider myself really, really lucky to be a part of his little life.
When I think of Asher, my first thought is that he is a fighter. Secondly, when I think of Asher, I always think of hockey, especially the Predators.
Asher is a fighter. He's full of courage and an inspiration. He's a big brother. He's a goofy toddler. He's our superhero, and he's the star on the ice.
Always happy. He has a smile on his face no matter what the heck he's doing. Whether it's playing in the bathtub or getting ready for a hockey game or watching Colby in his hockey uniform, he always has a smile on his face. He's a fighter and a lover, and he looks like a great big brother too. And he has two wonderful parents that love him very, very much.
Joy plus love equals Asher. I think about the joy that he carries with him all the time, whether it's his joy about hockey or about his sister. The amount of love that that boy has makes him an unstoppable force that is just going to turn this world upside down. He will not be stopped by anything put in his way, and he approaches it with so much joy and has so much love and support that there's nothing that's going to ever slow him down or stop him, because, in the words of Carrie Underwood, he is a champion.
I think of a really big smile. He's always got a smile on his face no matter what, and he always overcomes whatever's thrown at him, and he's just a very happy boy, and we love him so, so much.
That's the sweetest boy I've ever met. But I would quickly follow up and say he's also the toughest little boy I've ever met.
If you don't know him, you should know him. And if you ever get the chance to meet Asher, you're never gonna want him out of your life.
He loves hockey. He's a miracle child that has no idea the hard times that he's been through or the odds that he's beaten. He's climbed mountains. He's the strongest little fella, full of life and full of energy, and he is so loved. Me being his mama, don't have anything to do with it.
I describe Asher. He's full of energy, he's a little bit shy, and he loves hockey.
I never seen a boy so taken with hockey in all my life. He's a fanatic. Hope he does well.
I love you, Asher.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.